Hello and welcome to In Song and Story, episode number 15. Thank you for stopping in. Here we are, 1st of July. We've been doing this for a long time. Masks, no masks. Masks, no masks. Inside, outside, opening up, closing. Who knows what's going on? You know, this is an amazing time. This year will be written about in the history books. In Ireland, they're just about to embark on phase 3 of the reopening. Here in America, it's been marginally successful and then unsuccessful, so we'll see what happens. This is the 4th of July weekend coming up, so let's see what that brings. And I hope you have a great and safe 4th of July weekend. Myself and Tracy got tested a few days ago, so let's see what happens. On tonight's episode, kind of family. A song that was one of my father's favourite songs would be the first song. Second song is a song about my mother, and the third song is a song about grandparents. So the first song was written by Phil Coulter from the city of Derry in Northern Ireland. Phil is a composer, an arranger, songwriter, producer, and he has quite an accomplished career behind him and is still going. Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, he wrote a song for Sandy Shaw, co-wrote a song for Sandy Shaw, Puppet on a String, went on to be a huge hit for the Eurovision Song Contest. He wrote a song called Congratulations for Cliff Richard in the next year in the Eurovision Song Contest. He wrote a song, or co-wrote a song, I can't remember his writing partner back then. The song was called My Boy, recorded by none other than Elvis Presley. And then Phil came back home and started writing songs more about Ireland. He wrote some fantastic songs, iconic songs in the Irish catalogue of traditional and folk music. The Town I Love So Well, Scorn Not His Simplicity, Steal Away is another one. And so quite an accomplished songwriter. He also wrote this song. He wrote the song The Old Man, and he wrote this song about a fiddle player, a man named Ted Fury, who achieved some notoriety playing the fiddle around Ireland. He was a travelling man, but he settled in Dublin, and he was a fixture in the 60s in the trad sessions in O'Donoghue's pub in Dublin. He had several kids who also became musicians. Two of them, Finbar and Eddie Fury, formed a duo in the 60s and became quite popular in Ireland and England and Europe. Their other two brothers, George and Paul, teamed up with a man from Scotland, Davy Arthur, and formed a band called the Buskers. And at one point in the 70s, Finbar and Eddie joined the Buskers, so they all became part of the Buskers. Shortly thereafter, they changed the name of the band to the Fury Brothers and Davy Arthur. And in 1979, they went into the studio and recorded an Eric Bogle song called The Green Fields of France, which was a hugely popular song over in that part of the world. Their father died in May of that year, 1979. And apparently Finbar was charged with going up into the attic to collect some of the dad's belongings and accoutrements, so to speak. So he found this pile of papers that had songs, and one of the songs was a song called When You Were Sweet 16. And on the encouragement of his mother, Nora, the Fury Brothers recorded this song, and it became their biggest selling single. It was popular in Ireland, England, all over Europe, and in parts of America. The song itself was written in 1897 by a man named James Thornton, published in 1898. It was a big hit in 1900 for somebody, I'm not sure who. It was a big hit in 1947. It was recorded by Al Jolson, but a bigger hit in that year for Perry Como. It was recorded by the Ink Spots, and it was recorded by the Furies in 1981 or 81, I think. It was also recorded by Glenn Campbell. It's an interesting song. And the first time I heard this song was with my father in 1982. I had been to America a couple of times, and I was unsure of where my future was going to take me. My father worked for the local newspaper, the Drogheda Independent. His career was winding down. He was a compositor, paper at the time, and then moved on to be out on the road selling ads, sell commercials. And I joined him out on the road thinking this might be something I would want to do, and it wasn't at all. But I remember being with him for several months out on the road, and he said to me, stop calling me Dad, stop, it's embarrassing, call me Tom. It's the first time in my life I called my father Tom. And one day we were having lunch, which comprised of a sandwich and a can of Coke, and we were leaning across a gate, looking into a field in an area called Nobber, not west of my hometown of Drogheda. And he said, this is where my mother's people are from, the McMahons. I spent summers out in this part of the world, you know. And he was reminiscing, one of the few times he ever did that with me. But this song came on the radio when the car window was open. Oh Jesus, go and turn that up, turn that up. He said, I like this song. And it was this song, The Old Man. Every time I sing it, I think of him. Tears have all been shed now. We've said our last farewells. His soul's been blessed. He's laid to rest. And it's now I feel alone. He was more than just a father, a teacher, my best friend. And the songs I heard and the tunes we shared as we play them on our own. Oh, I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. Though he may be gone, memories linger on, and I miss him, the old man. As a boy, he'd take me walking on mountain, field and stream, and teach me things not known to kings, secrets between him and me, like the colours of the pheasant as he rises in the dawn, and how to fish and make a wish beside the holy tree. Oh, I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. Though he may be gone, memories linger on, and I miss him, the old man. I thought he'd live forever. He seemed so big and strong, but the minutes fly and the years roll by for a father and a son. And suddenly, when it happened, there was so much left unsaid. No second chance to tell him thanks for everything he'd done. Oh, I never will forget him, for he made me what I am. Though he may be gone, memories linger on, and I miss him, my old man. written by the great Phil Coulter, recorded by the Fury Brothers and Davy Arthur, The Old Man. My mother's name, my mother was a character. My mother was a character. God, I love that woman. And we were very, very close, you know. But my mother's name was Bridget O'Donoghue. All of her life she was known as Bryda, Bryda, which is a derivative of Bridget. My sister, closest to me, is Breda, which is also a derivative of Bridget. But you know, there were 6 of them in the family, the Clark family, and then my mother married into the O'Donoghues. And at the end, in the last few years, there were 3 of them left, you know, and characters. There was my Aunt Ailish, who was a little hard of the hearing, you know, and my Aunt Viva, who was the oldest at the time. We're talking, my mother died in 2009, so we're talking in the mid-2000s. And my Aunt Viva was she was the oldest. She was the driver. She had a Mini Cooper. That's what she had. One of the old Mini Coopers. I mean, low slung, you know. And then my mother, Bryda, was a character, you know, and always fun, always laughing. But they used to go and have coffee, these 3 old biddies, and I delighted with going. Anytime I was out, I'd go and have coffee with them. It was just a pantomime. They got it, were funny people, you know. But so my mother, at one point in time when I was home, showed me a photograph and gave me a photograph of herself when she was 16 years old, dressed up for a game of field hockey. Girls' field hockey in Ireland is called camogie. And her and Ailish was there. I'm not sure there was anybody else, maybe 2 or 3 sisters, and the rest of the team, you know. And I became intrigued with the photograph, so much so, she gave it to me. And I have the photograph here in the house. I'll post it actually on Facebook. But you know, young, vibrant girls just having a good time, and I was so taken with the photograph that I wrote this song. And the song is called I Saw Your Picture, about the photograph. But when I recorded this song here in town with my good producer friend Phil Hathaway, we did a kind of a close harmony thing, and I wanted to get a Beatles acoustic sound for it. It's a good recording. And on the album, people would buy the album, come and say, who's Bright Eyes? What's Bright Eyes about? I just noticed my mother's is Bride Eyes, what it is, not Bright Eyes. I saw your picture. I saw your picture in an old photograph. You look so happy out there in the park with your friends and your sisters, all dressed for the game. I've always wondered, did you win that day? I saw you out walking just the other day with your friends and your sisters. You look the same as you did in that picture that I saw of you. The love in your eyes still shining through. Oh, bright eye, my love is true. I'll always keep in my heart that picture of you. Whenever I'm with you, I feel so warm, 'cause you always told me that you keep me from harm. And though my heart belongs to another, there's always a special love that belongs to a mother. Whoa, bright eye, deep in my heart, that picture of you. I saw your picture, I saw your picture. A song for the mam, song for mam, Mammy Brida. We had some good times together. What a wonderful woman. There's great strength in my time growing up, and after being away for a long time, there's an incredible strength that comes from Irish women. My mother held the family together without doubt. You know, she was the rock. And I see that in a lot of Irish women, older Irish women and younger Irish women. I don't know what it is. And there's always a great acceptance and a great sense of humor goes with it. Ah, sure, he did that, but it'll be okay. But they know how to take care of everything. I just love it, you know? So earlier on today, I posted on Facebook on Drogheda Down Memory Lane, which is one of my favorite Facebook pages. If you're not from there, it probably won't mean as much, but those of us who are from there, it means a lot. And I really have connected with people who you know, frequent the page. Noel Woods is a schoolmate of mine. He's down there in Australia. I worked in Holland as an electrician in 1979, and Leo Cunningham worked in Holland with us, with 14 of us. What a blast, you know. But I didn't know Leo could sing. In the last several months, he's been singing every week. A beautiful voice, and he only stopped a few nights ago because the pubs are back open in Ireland. Nobody's going to listen anymore. But you know, a bunch of people that over there that Jim Ryan, who used to live at the bottom of the street, Jim and his wife Val, Vinnie Kieran's, who lived around the corner when I was growing up, and they're all on Facebook. So it's a great connection. I'm so thankful for it, and that's one of the reasons we sat behind this. Is the picture of the bull ring in my hometown, down beside the bridge in the middle of the town. But so I digress. I posted this picture of my grandmother holding her firstborn, Deborah, and there were 6 more children to come. The photograph is almost 100 years old, and when we think about grandparents, we never think of young people. We always think of old people with white hair. And this song, I love this song, but when I saw the photograph, and I've had this picture for a long time, I started to think about, when I'm singing this song, think about our grandparents as young, vibrant people. He's strong and handsome. She's beautiful with hair blowing in the wind, you know, with our whole lives to look forward to. We never think of our grandparents like that. So I recorded this song in 1995 in Charleston, South Carolina. And I'd written some songs for the album, but we were looking for a few more songs to flesh out the project. And my producer at the time was Carol Brown. He's become a great friend since. And Carol said, I have this song written by a man from West Texas, a very well-renowned songwriter named Mickey Cates. And it was my understanding at the time, still is, that the song was written about his grandparents. And so the song has been brought up by grandparents. A lovely song. It's called Between the Two of Them. They married back in 32. They were young and love was new. Every day that feeling grew between the two of them. When work was scarce and times got bad, hope would chase away the sad. Hope was sometimes all they had between the two of them. The 40s came, the 50s went, a mortgage note replaced the rent. This made the most of each day spent. two of them. The children all turned out just fine. He retired in '69, left with oh so little time between the two of them. Today I brave the graveyard rain, placed a rose between their names. That's the most that ever came between the two of them. No, I miss them both so much. His crooked smile, her gentle touch, the pleasure of just growing up between the two of them. Between the two of them. Have a great weekend this weekend, the 4th of July. Sometimes people ask me, do you have a 4th of July in Ireland? Yes, we do. It's sandwiched in between number 3 and number 5. We don't celebrate it like it happens here in America. So have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Good night. God bless.